Another week, another barrage of transfer rumours. Moyes has said he has the full backing of the board and that some offers for players have been made behind the scenes. There's nothing to suggest that this isn't true. We've got to take his word for it. Really have. However, the slow pace of how we do transfers can sometimes be very unbearable for us fans. As with last week's show, unless there's some real news to update you on, there's really little point in me mentioning the same players over and over again. So I'll focus this week on, transfer rumours that have a bit of an update. Because I've got players here. I mean, I wanted to throw this young lad in because he's exciting. I talked about him quite a bit last week. Aaron Hickey, there's an awful lot of talk about Aaron Hickey, 19 years of age, coming back to British football because he was in the Scottish League before. He currently plays for Bologna as a left back, 19 years of age, and people are really rating him. He's having a great season at Bologna, and people are saying that he's got to be one for. West Ham. If West Ham are serious about bringing young, hungry talent in, then why not Hickey? A versatile player. He can play left back. He can play centre back. People think that he will eventually end up playing in central midfield in the future. He's got a mature approach to defending despite his age. Great sense of awareness, great positioning, good instinctive attacking qualities. And there's a lot to be said about this player. Will he come in this January window? I think not. But he's certainly the sort of player I think we should be certainly thinking about. Right. Who else have we got? Well, very briefly, Layvin Kazawa. I talked about Layvin Kazawa when Pellegrini was in charge. It was about two and a half seasons ago. And, he stayed at PSG, and apparently they've got about 5 million left backs, and they're all sort of vying for a place, but none of them are getting game time, and so on and so forth. And apparently Kazawa is available for a knockdown price of £6 million. Now, Kazawa has apparently had problems both on and off the field, and he's got a bit of an attitude, and that's why I don't think David Moyes is going to go anywhere near him, to be quite honest with you. Next up is Attila Szalai. I talked about Attila Szalai in the summertime after the Euros when he was a bit of a hit for Hungary in the Euros. He's a very decent player. Again, another spelling error I can see at the bottom there. He's a centre back, contracted till 2025 with Fenerbache. Valued at something like 15, 16 million pounds, 23 years of age. He's left footed. Oh, my spelling. I hate it. That's the problem when I rush my slides. He's a left-footed central defender, versatile, can play left back, can play left wing back. He's got strength of character, drives forward, good defensive qualities. Now, I kind of looked into Zalai's background, and it's very, very interesting. He's been with Fenerbahce since January 2021, where he joined for a fee of around about £1.82 million, and he came from Cypriot side Limassol. He started his young footballing career at Hungarian youth club Vasa Youth before moving to Austria to join Rapid Vienna at the age of 14. His family moved close to the Austrian-Hungarian border, which made the move easier for him to manage. He made just one senior appearance for the club before moving on a free transfer back to Hungary to a club called Mezokovets. That'll do. He spent a further 2 seasons there at Mezokovets in Hungary, making over 50 appearances before going to Cyprus for a nominal fee in 2019. He's also made 23 appearances for his national side as well. As I've said, central defender, left-footed, but capable of playing as left back as well. When he was at Rapid, he was captain of most of the youth teams that he played in, and he thought that Rapid were going to sort of sign him up, but that didn't materialise. And when he returned to Hungary, his capabilities were rewarded by getting into the Hungarian under-21 squad, and that was his breakthrough. Because when he was playing for the Hungarian under-21s, Limassol sporting director Petros Konafis discovered Szalai playing in an under-21 game. Konafis wasn't really expecting to find any hidden gems whilst he was watching the game, but his eye kept moving back to Szalai. And he said he's a left-footed, fast, strong centre-back, which is a rarity in the modern game. One of his many traits is his positiveness and strength of character. He knew that going back to Hungary from Austria was a step back for him in his career, but he was determined to prove that he was not only capable of, sort of taking that on the chin, but to recognise that this gave him another opportunity to sort of try and break through. His style of play is for him is always to look forward. He's kind of like a bit of an attack-minded central defender. We talked earlier about how our current central defenders don't have the ability to carry the ball forward. Well, Szalai has got just that. He's got good tendency to take the ball forward, to get into attacking positions, and when he passes the ball, he rarely passes the ball sideways. He's always looking ahead. He's always looking to pick an attack-minded player up in front of him. Having said that, his safety first type of defending is undisputed. He would not risk exposing himself or his teammates with any rash challenges or any rash passes. Now, it's suggested that his physical presence and style of play would naturally fit into the Premier League. And at just 23 years of age, he has the potential to become one of the best defenders in Europe. That's big. There's a lot to be said about him. He's got Turkish experience, Turkish league experience, Hungarian experience, Europa League experience, and of course, international experience. And in 29 appearances in all competitions, his stats, they're not bad. He's got 1.4 tackles, not 0.3. I do apologise. Another error. 1.4 interceptions, 2.4 clearances, averaging per game in 29 appearances, and 1.3 aerial duel wins with a 79% pass success rate. I've got to fix that slide for next week. He could be a star of the future, and if Turkish club Fenerbahce were to want to make money on him, they would certainly be able to sell him for around about 14, 15, 16 million pounds. 23 years of age, 15, 16 million pounds could be an investment for the future if he really is touted as likely to be one of the best, could become one of the best defenders in Europe. Let's move on to the player that was seen outside our training ground. Of course, Andy the ponytail striker Carroll. He's a free agent. I mean, I don't know. Reading might be looking to renew his agent license or whatever. Today it could have happened for all I know. Who knows? Could have done. I mean, what is there to say about Andy Carroll? I mean, look. His short-term deal with Reading ended at the weekend. 8 appearances, 2 goals, 1 assist. Well done, Andy Carroll. 8 appearances, 2 goals, 1 assist. Then really, in all honesty, Reading should do the right thing, shouldn't they? They should renew his bloody contract so he's not available. Because I won't lie, we don't want him back. We love you, Andy, but we don't want you back playing for West Ham United. And all this stuff about he was seen at the grounds, Rush Green, etc. But apparently that's not uncommon. He often goes to see mates. He's good mates with Mark Noble and all that sort of stuff. And now that he's out of contract, he does use the Rush Green training ground to train and all that sort of stuff. I think people are putting 2 and 2 together and coming up with 10. I don't think it's going to happen. I'll be very, very, very surprised. And ironically, I mean, I've seen a lot of the comments tonight on the show that Andy Carroll, like, no way, no thanks. But there are a lot of fans that would actually have him back. There are a lot of fans that will say he's a plan B, great with his head and all that sort of stuff. He can defend well and all that sort of stuff. I don't know. I just think, it would be a massive step backwards. Let's have a look at his stats. Career stats for West Ham United. 142 appearances, 34 goals, 17 assists. Career stats in total for all the clubs that he's played for in senior appearances: 354, 82 goals, 51 assists, and of course he's had 9 caps for England with 2 goals. Look, it's a fairy tale. He could come back and he could score, I don't know, the winning goal in the Europa League final in Seville, and everyone would go, fucking hell, give him a 5-year contract until he's 38, 39 years old. Look, it isn't going to happen. I doubt very much that the stories are true, but of course, it makes for great clickbait, doesn't it? Let's move on to an altogether completely different kind of option up front. Ludovic Ajorc, I think is how you pronounce that. Ludovic Ajorc, striker for Strasbourg, contracted till 2024. Another spelling error, valued at £15 million, 27 years of age. He's got a consistent goal scoring record. He's got good link up play. He's fixed 6'4", imposing striker, good aerial ability. He developed through the youth ranks of SCO Angers before moving to Clermont Foot for an undisclosed fee in 2016. In 70 appearances for Clermont, he scored 20 goals, which prompted Strasbourg to make a £1.8 million offer for the player in 2018. Now, we've got to just think, though, great striking record that was in League Two, where Clermont Foot were. To date, he's made 120 appearances in total, scoring 48 goals and 17 assists. His career stats this season: 20 goals, 20 appearances, 10 goals, and 6 assists. And last year, he maintained his goal scoring record with 16 goals. All right. Good link-up player, excellent long ball passing range. It gets stuck in on a tackle, which David Moyes would love. And I don't know, despite moving from a mid-table French club, which Strasbourg are, to challenging near the top of the Premier League, certainly be a step up for him. Ajorc is having an excellent season, but I'm so not sure if he's going to want to play second fiddle to Antonio. However, if Moyes wants to play a different way and a different style, he can move Antonio out wide, and he can put Ajorc in as a target man in the middle of the park. I don't know. All right, next up is Armando Broja, currently playing for Southampton, but contracted till 2026 with Chelsea, valued at something like £10 million, 20 years of age. As I've said, he's on loan from Chelsea. Southampton are looking to sign him permanently, but he didn't. But Southampton didn't didn't put in a loan to buy clause in the contract. He's doing all right. Broja, 20 years of age, Albanian international, born in Slough. He's currently on loan to Southampton. He's one of many talented young players in the Chelsea youth ranks. He was out on loan last season as well to Netherlands club Vitesse, who Chelsea seem to loan an awful lot of players out to. He made 34 appearances for them and he scored 11 goals. This season, in 20 appearances, he already scored 7. Could Chelsea be looking to progress him into their first team? It's possible. However, with so much competition at the club, it's not always easy for a young player to break through in the Chelsea ranks. Now, Tuchel, Chelsea manager, said earlier this week that there's a good reason why players like Broja are part of the Chelsea setup. Yeah, because they make an awful lot of money out of them when they loan them out. But he also said, I'm being facetious. He also said that he's got a job to do at Southampton to prove that he can be a consistently good player. He said he's had a good 6 months, good first half of the season, but he needs to continue to prove himself at Southampton. So it's a 50-50 with Chelsea. Whether they're going to sell the player or not. If Broja has a really good second half of the season, you could see Chelsea going, right, you proved yourself for a whole season in the Premier League, we'll have you, we'll play you as backup. If he doesn't prove himself at Chelsea, at Southampton, it's quite possible that they'll sell him. Would they sell him to West Ham United? I don't know. I think they're more than likely to sell him to a team like Southampton, where they don't fear them as much, challenging for top 4. Right. Defenders. Nathaniel Phillips. Talked about him several times before over the past few months. Again, the story, rumours have been circulating around, etc. That we've actually made an approach, and apparently one of the many deals that we've got on offer on the table at the moment is this is one of them for Nat Phillips. He's contracted to Liverpool till 2025, valued at around £10 million, 24 years of age. He's had some decent, solid performances for Liverpool in the Premier League and in the Champions League. He's got good positional sense, a bit of an old-fashioned type of defender, very highly rated by Jurgen Klopp. Is he the sort of player that would fit in to West Ham United. I think Moyes would look at him and think that, we talked a moment ago about not having that many defenders that can carry the ball out, ball carriers, etc. Nathan Phillips isn't exactly that. He's more of a traditional type defender, but that's the type of defender that David Moyes likes. If you think about Zuma, Ogbonna, Dawson, those sorts of players, they're solid central defenders. They're not the sort of the sort of the is a Diop type defender where if he could get his Bambi feet right, will carry the ball out for you. If the negotiations are going on, and if we get Nathaniel Phillips over the line, I've kind of warmed to him. I wasn't sure at the start because I think we were linked to so many other different defenders in the past. I kind of was like, well, Phillips, I'm not so sure. I'm kind of warming to him. I think he would be, 24 years of age is the right age. He's got Champions League experience. He's got Premier League experience. There's no reason why a player like him shouldn't succeed. The only thing about him is he's right-footed as well. And we keep talking about, in order to get the best out of Kurt Zuma, that perhaps we need a left-footed central defender. That might be the only negative, I guess. Right, let's move on to another player, an ex-West Ham player. Kortney Hause, centre-back, contracted to Aston Villa till 2022, although apparently Aston Villa wanting to sign an extended contract, valued at around £6 million, 26 years of age. Ex-West Ham Academy, usually better in a back three, 6'3" defender, concerned sometimes over his concentration and defensive abilities. He's only made 8 appearances so far for Aston Villa this season, 0.8 tackles per game, 1.4 interceptions, 3 clearances, but 4.4 aerial clearances, and a pass success rate of around 79%. Look, it's interesting. Redbridge-born Hause was with West Ham Youth Academy until the age of 16, when he was then released. He was, even though he was a regular for all the teams that he played for up to under 16 level, he was even taken to Bermuda on a tour with the under 16s in 2010. I think he found it a surprise that he was released. He moved to Birmingham to pursue his career, but within a few months was on the move again when he signed for Wycombe Wanderers. He went on to sign professional papers with the club in 2012. He made 31 senior appearances for Wycombe, and at the end of 2013 he suffered an ankle fracture which temporarily halted his career. Despite that, just a few months later, he was on the move again and signed a 2.5-year deal with Wolves. And in his time at the club, he went on to several loan spells to places like Gillingham and Aston Villa. In between, he went on to make 80 senior appearances for Wolves. But his last loan spell at Villa resulted in the club making a £3 million offer for the player in 2019. Okay, they were in the Championship. Let's not forget that. He made 54 appearances for the club, as I've just mentioned, in the Championship. But this season, he's fallen down the pecking order somewhat. And as I've just mentioned, has only made 8 appearances in total for the club. Former Villa manager Dean Smith preferred to play him as a back three formation. And that's where he kind of would get more of a chance to play. Now, I know David Moyes, sometimes he does favour a back three. So maybe that there might be a possibility to bring someone like Hause in to West Ham. However, Steven Gerrard, he plays a back four, 2 central defenders, and that's why he's got less game time. Having said that, as I've already mentioned, he's got 6 months to go, and Aston Villa have offered him an extended contract with the option of a 1-year extension. I've said towering 6'3" defender. You would expect him to be good on the aerial challenge. I've already said his average rate aerial win rate of 4.4. Is he a prospect? Is he someone that might want to come back to West Ham United after being rejected when he was in the youth squad? I don't know. I worry that Hause is not necessarily going to be that much of an improvement to Issa Diop. You might think I'm wrong, so let me know. But if Moyes does go to a back three, there's a chance. There's a chance. All right, a couple more, and then we're done. Some less likely rubbish, really. Alexis Sanchez now plays for Inter, just like Andy Carroll, 33 years of age. Just like Andy Carroll, his best years are behind him. Unlike Andy Carroll, the player has a real arrogant attitude about him, which is enough reason to say that Moyes ain't going anywhere near this player. And then finally, Filip Kostic. First up, he's from Eintracht Frankfurt, 29-year-old Serbian international, developed through the youth ranks of Serbian clubs like Radnički, before moving to FC Groningen in the Netherlands just before his 20th birthday in 2012. He can play both flanks, left-footed. Is a left-footed player, one of few players who prefers to actually play on the left side of attacking midfield. Most modern day players prefer to cut in from the other side. He spent 2 seasons in Netherlands, playing 23 games for Groningen and scoring 8 goals, and 50 games for the senior team, notching up 9 assists. He then moved to Frankfurt, where Frankfurt, they're gunning for, up there in the German league. They're in Europa League, etc., etc. And plus, we don't really need another attacking wide player, do we?